Okay, good day, grade 6. Our topic for today is all about Umbra and Penumbra. Okay, here's our vocabulary. Shadow. Shadow. Next. Opaque object. Source of light. Torch. Umbra, Penumbra, shape of the shadow, size of the shadow, distance, orientation. Okay, one more. Let's read. Shadow, opaque object, source of light, torch, umbra, penumbra, shape of shadow, size of shadow, distance, orientation. Okay. Okay, shadow we have here. I have here a picture. Shadow, opaque object, source of light. Okay, here is the shadow. Can you see this one? Okay, shadow. And this guy is represented as opaque object. Okay, next, our light source. The light, okay, or source of light. Okay, what is shadow? The dark area behind the object called shadow. Again, let's read. The dark area behind the behind the object is called shadow. This is our object. Okay. Next, what is opaque object? Okay, opaque object. The opaque object, light cannot pass through. Okay, anything or any object, if the light cannot pass through, that is opaque object. Other example is ball, book, table, chair, that are opaque objects. Okay, next. What is source of light? Anything that makes light. Again, light. Source of light is anything that makes light. Okay, we can use sun, torch, anything that makes light. All right. Next, we have shape of the shadow. Okay, you can see the fork is not like a heart shape, but in the different orientation, we can arrange, or we can produce other shape not same like the fork. Okay, again, let's read a little description. The shape of the shadow of an object changes according to the orientation of the object that the light falls on. If you put, okay, later I will give an example how you can change the shape of an object. Okay, let's read one more time. The shape of the shadow. The shape of the shadow of an object changes according to the orientation. When you say orientation, like how you put the light source or the torch. If you put forward or you put like sideward, it will change the shadow of the object that the light falls on. Okay, next. Okay, here's the example of how you can change the shape of the shadow. If you can observe, we have here, it's a let's say this is a can. Okay, let's change to red. Okay, this is a can. Okay, this light can pass like that, and that is the shadow. Okay, this light is like that. Okay, next, this light make a shape of a circle, and this light can make a square shape. Okay? That is how's the orientation change. If the orientation is here, the shape is rectangle or square. Then if the orientation of the light is in other side, we'll have a circle shape. Okay? Okay, now if the shape is here, what is our orientation? Well, that is our orientation. Here's the orientation, and the shape projects like circle. And if we go to another side, the shape of the shadow, it changes into square or something like rectangle. Right? That is how the shape of the shadow changes. Next, we have size of the shadow. If you can observe to our picture, our object is like this, the boy, and the light source is here, and his shadow become bigger than him, like twice as big as him. Okay, why? Okay, here, the size of the shadow changes according to the distance between the object and the light source. Okay, the more near, the more bigger the shadow. If I put this is the light source, if I put the light source away, the shadow becomes smaller. Okay, that is how the size of shadow affects. Okay, next. Here's the other example. Okay, we have here, you can observe. Okay, let's try. Okay, here you can observe the shadow is bigger. Here, smaller. This one is very small. Okay, that's the shadow. In this picture, large shadow when the toy is close to the light. Closer. Look at the distance from here. That is the distance. Next, smaller shadow when the toy is further from the light. Look at the distance. From here and here, that is the distance. Okay, next picture. Tiny shadow when the toy is a long way from the light. The distance from the toy and from the light is like this. This is the distance. Is like that. Okay, this is how the size of the shadows affect when the object and the light source is far and near. Alright? Okay, again. When the toy is close to the light, what will happen? The shadow become... when the toy is close, the shadow become larger. Large shadow. When the toy is further from the light, what will happen? The shadow becomes smaller, or smaller shadow is produced. Okay, when the toy is very far or long way from the light source, the shadow become tiny. Okay, become tiny. Again here, large shadow because it's close. Here, smaller shadow because it's farther. Tiny shadow because long way. Okay, take a look at that. All right. Now let's have another. Okay, here is the Penumbra or Umbra and Penumbra. Take a look. Okay, what's the meaning of Umbra? Umbra, darkest part of the shadow. This is the Umbra. Okay. Next, Penumbra. Edges of the shadows appear lighter than its center. Okay, if this is the point of source, it's like directly close together, all Umbra will be produced. If the point or if the light source is extended source, you can look. This line goes here and this line goes there, and this both line makes an umbra or a umbra shadow. It's the darkest part of the shadow. Again, the light part or this gray part is penumbra. The dark part or the black is umbra. Here is penumbra, and the middle or the darkest part of the shadow, that is umbra. Okay. Here's another example. Light source, a ball or an object. This is the, what we call this? Umbra. And these are the edge of it, that is penumbra. Okay, again we have light source, ball, umbra, penumbra. Here's the example. Alright, that's all for today. Thank you, grade 6.
This ain't over.